We founded the Centre in Western Australia about 40 years ago, and we also run the Life Focus, the WA Centre for Relationships, and from there we conduct work with couples, with individuals, and with people of all ages.
Hello, my name is Donatus McAlka. I'm a psychologist and a family therapist, and we're sitting here in Sausalito with our good friends, very privileged to be with Dr. Diane Cirincione and Dr. Jerry Jampolsky, who are the founders of Attitudinal Healing International. And we were very privileged over 40 years ago to meet them and in collaboration with them co-found the Centre for Attitudinal Healing. Our passion is working with people, creating positive relationships and positive families. And we have found that the principles of attitudinal healing cut right to the core, to the heart of how two people can create a relationship that is life-giving and families that are supportive using the principles of attitudinal healing. What's the secret of positive relationships?
To see only love in the other person and have no judgments whatsoever.
So how do you go about seeing only love in the other person? Because, you know, it's quite a challenge for two people, a male and a female, or two males or two females, to live
Particularly
together.
when they can be so annoying sometimes.
and so different. So how do you just see only love in other people, Jerry?
By knowing love is the only thing that is real. So our purpose in life is to be a vehicle of love to everyone we see. No judgments, and we use forgiveness when we get caught in our ego.
That's really beautifully put, Jerry. And
Thank you.
I think Jerry's just described what we aspire to.
Yeah.
Each day we wake up in the morning and we have a what we call greeting the morning, and that's on our website, ahinternational.org, and it's about 10 minutes of really saying, you know, we're not bodies, we really are spiritual beings, and we really aspire today to be all that we can be, in the sense of remembering that we are spirit. We are living here in this sort of duality. We're living in a physical body and here to learn and to grow, but this is not the essence of who we are. The essence of who we are is love, the essence of our being, which is the first principle of attitudinal healing. And to remember that in others. And I think Jerry mentioned forgiveness. I think without forgiveness, you could never be together with another human being. We're together 95% of the time, over 4 decades, and traveled and worked in 61 countries, some of them a dozen times. So most of our life has been in new and challenging environments. We're constantly changing, and I think that the way we deal with change is really important, because it's interesting to know how somebody else deals with change. In my counseling practice, I always have couples talk about what they think about change, because one could be terrified of it and the other one could just be excited about it, and that can rip you apart and you don't even know it, what's happening, because you're pulling from different ends. And Jerry and I believe are right at the exact same point on change, that it is the natural evolution of us as human beings, but that as spiritual beings we are unchanged, that we are all innocent, we are all healed, we are all whole.
So Diane, what would you say to a young couple, been together 4 or 5 years and got a couple of kids, and she's ready to walk out on him because he's a pain in the so-and-so and he doesn't listen to her? What would you say to this young couple struggling in their relationship? Like when you say, well, see love in the other person. So how would they sort of put that into practice? Because you guys have. So what would you say to them?
I bet Jerry has an idea, because I've seen him begin conversations with couples in conflict. We've done couples counselings for about 35 years. But would you like to answer that, Jerry, with the first thing you usually do with a a couple who is looking the opposite direction from each other?
I think I'd like to change the question. When Diane met me, I don't think you'd read the Course in Miracles.
Never heard.
I didn't know anything about that. And I felt that your ability to communicate with other people was so good that we ought to do it together. And you didn't want to do that. And finally you changed your mind. And you said, okay, I will do it. And it was down in Southern California, wasn't it?
Oh, the University of California, Irvine.
Yeah. So we got there a bit early, and we saw the program, and Diane's name wasn't on it. My name was on it, but not Diane's.
Now, mind you, I was terrified before I even got on the plane. Going down to do this, I wasn't yet a clinical psychologist. I was like...
Can you talk a little slower, please?
Yes. Go ahead, Jerry.
I didn't want you to say, go ahead.
So we got there, and I said, well, that's good, that's fine, because I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
I was like, good, I'm out of here. And Jerry said,
well, I'm okay with that. You wouldn't have to go in even if your name was on the program.
and I said, well, that's fine, but it's not on the program, so I'm not going.
That sounds familiar.
And my motivation wasn't to change Diane's
That's key.
Mind.
Because in the past I've had a lot of control issues, and I'd be able to manipulate Diane to going on, and I had no desire to manipulate.
You didn't.
I just wanted to help her.
But you asked me if you could ask me a question. Well, can I just ask you one question? I said, yes. I was kind of sharp at the time because I was like scared to death. I said, what? Do you remember what you asked me, Jerry?
Yeah. Why did you think you came here?
Why did you come here today? And I sat for a moment. I closed my eyes and I got the answer. I said, I came here to give love.
And then I said, do you think you are capable of doing that?
And I said, yeah, I'm capable of doing that.
Well,
And then Jerry said, that's all you'll ever be required to do.
say it a little louder, Dan.
That's all you'll ever be required to do, to give love. And then you got up and you said, I'll either see you at the end of the day, I'll see you in the audience, or I'll see you on the stage. I love you. And he turned around and he walked away.
That's freedom.
And I sat there.
No judgment.
No. He really meant it.
No desire to change Diane's mind.
And I sat and I asked for guidance, and I thought, well, if I'm only required to give love, there's no script, I have no idea what this is going to be like, but I know I can give love. So I went in, and that was the beginning of our time together. We never have had a script, ever, but we've always lectured side by side, and it's always with that thought that we're here just to give love.
So from what you're both saying, you know, Jerry, why you're here, and a very simple thing, you're here to give love. And what you said, Diane, once that's clear why we're here to give love, somehow
The rest
everything
all
else
falls into
follows.
place.
And it reminds me, without getting cerebral about it, that Aristotle said that unless a relationship has what he called a transcendent other, or a bigger picture than just the two people, unless both people are caught in an awareness that their purpose is bigger than themselves, that there's a transcendence. And it seems to me that you've just hit on the core, the very core of happiness.
That is correct.
Well, we decided that we would only come together as a couple if we could have spirit as the center of our relationship, and the two of us have that as a central focus as we
As a
considered
reference.
each other. That's why it's worked.